With us, the head coach of the Cavaliers, Brandon Costa, UVA-wise, begins South Atlantic Conference play this weekend with a three-game set at Tusculum. Coach, before we talk about the Pioneers, we'll look at the season to this point, and your team coming off its best doubleheader performance of the year down at Carolina. Just kind of assess your team to this point and the big offensive display you had down there.
Yeah, we've had some some tough games kind of there in the beginning, especially against King. The one-run ball games that we were kind of on the other side of, and then the Pembroke series. That was a tough one. They're a pretty electric team, and then you go up to Ohio. You take one up there on a longer road trip, and lose in the bottom of the ninth in game three. We've been playing good baseball. Pitching's been doing a pretty good job. Defense been doing a pretty good job. In that early stretch, what we were missing was offensive production and, just capitalizing when we have runners on base or runners in scoring position. So it was good to see that against Carolina U, kind of have the bats come alive a little bit and, hopefully kind of jumpstart this offense before we get in the conference.
Local guy Cole Harness ties the South Atlantic Conference record in that game, 10 RBI and a 24-10 win. Talk about Cole, his development, and then you had some other guys. Dakota hits a home run, Prinkleton homers twice, Metter homers, Fry hit a home run. I'm sure I left somebody else hits me a home run. Mm-hmm. That has to build confidence going into league play.
Yeah, it does. And Cole, he's the type of person who has put in a lot of hard work over the last 3 years to become a better player, not only on the offensive side, but also on the defensive side. That's his play at first base is probably, it's saved us a good amount of runs over the past 3 years, I would say. So, but the offensive side, he has the bat speed tool, obviously. And then he has just found ways over the years to continuously get better and to improve, his swing, his approach, mainly his approach. He's really talked a lot about that. He talks with, Coach Bill about that a bunch. And obviously the mechanical side, just finding ways to find more barrels. And, you kind of saw some of that work pay off on Tuesday. So it was good to see Cole kind of get it going a little bit. And then he's also one of our biggest team guys as well. He cares about other guys on the team. He cares about this program. And, it was just really good to see him kind of get his back going before we head into conference. And then, he had Metter, who's been kind of, who's been on a roll a little bit lately, kind of been a mainstay in our lineup here as of late. And it was good to see him, kind of get a couple more barrels, I guess you could say, on Tuesday. And then, Deshaun, he's been a little bit quiet. He kind of woke up a little bit on Tuesday. It was good to see kind of what we think he can do with the bat kind of happen on Tuesday. So that was nice to see the result on that side. And then, Dakota coming off of a wrist injury from last year, freeing it up a little bit at the plate and getting one out. So, it was good to see the guys roll a little bit, find some barrels, hit the ball hard, put up some runs because, we've been struggling in that department really since the beginning of the season. So it was good to see the offense get that going. And we kind of, had that feeling if we get going offensively, it's going to be kind of the snowball rolling downhill, and it's just going to keep kind of adding up. So we're hoping that kind of sparks us, and then obviously we'll see this weekend what we can do.
Micah Hill, another guy who homered down there against Carolina. I don't want to leave him out. On the mound, Braden Hamilton gets his first win in a UVA-wise uniform, 3 2/3 of scoreless relief. Talk about that a little bit, and does that garner him some more innings, and how your pitching staff's looking going into sack play?
Yeah, I think, for Hamilton, he's the type of guy, he's worked really, really hard over the fall. Obviously, it's carried over into the spring. And once again, it's kind of, I don't think it's ironic, but it's a theme. He's also one of our biggest team guys. He's one of the pitchers who's in the dugout where kind of all the charts are, where we're charting things during the game. He's getting behind his guys, whether it's on defense or on offense, whether it's a pitcher or position player. And he's always in the mix whenever there's something going on. And, he goes out there and we kind of had to make a quick move there. And he goes in there, he pounds the zone, he does his job. It's exactly what we needed out of Hammy, and he did an excellent job. So, yeah, it's kind of the way baseball works. You get an opportunity in the midweek, you kind of show what you can do, and then you go up that list for the weekend. That's just how it's set up. That's why you have midweeks. But for this weekend, we're going to go Justin Snyder on Friday, and then on however the weekend shakes out. The other 9-inning game is going to be Clayton Lancer, and then Game 7 game is going to be Kanegi. So that's kind of how we're looking to do it, and that's kind of how the weekend is going to shake out on the pitching side.
Coach, obviously we don't know this right now. There's weather coming in this weekend. You could play Friday, Saturday. You could play Friday, Sunday. Does that in any way impact how you and Coach Chalupa and Coach Miller look at it from a pitching standpoint, where you may be in a situation where guys wouldn't have to throw back-to-back days because you could have the odd situation with an off day in the series?
Yeah, so when you look at it on that side, I don't think it really changes how we go into the weekend. I think it's more so on, we've already talked about it. We've already kind of ran through some scenarios or whatever. I think more so on the bullpen side, one of your main guys out of the bullpen, gets a light day on Friday, doesn't throw too many pitches. Obviously, you have a rest day Saturday, and then they're able to bounce back Sunday. So I think when you look at it from that standpoint, yeah, you might be able to have, maybe some of these guys kind of bounce back. But, in terms of our idea going into the weekend, or our structure going into the weekend with our pitching staff, we've kind of ran through a couple different scenarios that might happen with the weather rolling in.
Coach, looking at Tusculum, they're off to an 8-2 start the year. Christian Ortega leads the country in on-base percentage, 649. They're the best offensive team in the league, albeit here in the early going. Just your thoughts on the Pioneers, and I guess we'll speak about their offense.
Yeah, no, when you look at their numbers, they're impressive. I mean, I think Ortega is one of the more potent offensive players in the league. And then, you look at kind of the numbers they put up. I know that they just beat Young Harris, which was, a team that's, ranked 30th in the nation. I mean, when you look at this offense, it's strong. But, if you pitch and you compete and you execute pitches, you can kind of, keep us in. You can do your job on the mound, and that's just the way the game's set up. If a pitcher goes out there and does his job, he's going to keep an offense at bay. But yeah, they're potent, and our guys are going to have to execute just like they have to every weekend. And then, so yeah, they've always been like that. They've always had a good offense. It seems like they've gotten back to that this year. So the numbers on their side don't surprise me, because that's how they've typically been. So yeah, we're just gonna have to go in there and do our job on the mound, go in there and throw competitive strikes and catch the ball behind the pitcher.
Then on the mound for Tusculum, Seth Willis comes in. He's a reigning league pitcher of the week. Threw a no-hitter last time out. He struck out 21 guys in 15 2/3 innings. The importance, Coach, of running up pitch counts in these conference series, I think, is more important than in non-conference, because you're playing 3 games and trying to get into the middle part of people's bullpens. And that, I'm sure the folks at Tusculum are thinking the same thing about UVA-wise. The more you can get pitches, the better chance you have not only hit the ball, but you're going to see more arms as well.
Yeah, and I think that's, once you start getting into the 9-9-7, like you said, in conference play, yes, maybe being a little bit more patient might help. But that type of arm right there, obviously the numbers speak for themselves. He's going to throw strikes, and as a hitter, you're going to kind of have to hunt your pitch, and if your pitch isn't there yet, maybe you do take it. But it's one of those things where with a pitcher like that, you're going to have to find a way to get something going. I mean, you're going to have to find a way. Is it going to be easy? No, but that's any Friday night in this conference. It's just the way it is. And as an offense, it's going to have to be kind of all hands on deck. Let's get on base. Let's get some things going here. So, yeah, the numbers are impressive, and he's a good arm, obviously. But if we stay within an approach and, you know, kind of attack that approach and work counts, work at bats, you know, when we get our pitch in the zone, we don't miss it. We barrel it up. You know, that's what you need to do as an offense. And, you know, obviously our guys on Tuesday were able to get some things going. So I'm hoping, you know, maybe that carries into Friday night and the rest of the weekend.
UVA Wise won its last meeting against Tusculum. They started a 3-game series Friday. Folks, you can watch it as part of the Flow Sports app on the Tusculum Pioneer Network. Visit UVAWiseCavs.com for any type of schedule changes with the impending weather. Coach, thanks for some time. Good luck this weekend, and we'll catch up again next week.
Daryl, appreciate it. Thank you.